Hey everyone, welcome back to CryptoCache. Thank you so much for joining me here. I hope you're having an amazing day. Happy Wednesday. We're going to take a look here at Enjin, see what's going on, of course. Gotten a lot of requests from this, asking if we're back on track or what's going on. One of my community members, of course, asked for this as well, so thank you so much for that. Now, if you're not currently a community member, consider joining. Really awesome experience where we all learn and grow together. We have weekly roundtable discussions. We have a trading community that's designed for you to become a better trader with the fundamentals and the foundation of being a good trader. More the mindset of being a good trader. And then, of course, obviously my signals that you can help follow and or more importantly learn how to structure your trades effectively, because it's not about entry points and exit points. It's about how you structure your trades, trailing stop losses, multiple profit targets, etc. There's always a rhyme and reason for trading. This is not gambling, once again. All right, so taking a look here at Enjin. Let's go ahead and look at some obvious stuff here. So we are testing the 50-day simple moving average here, of course, and the 200 is far behind. Now, a lot of coins are testing the 50-day SMA based on the fact that we've been retracing for about 3 to 4 months straight. And in that sense, it's pretty common for the 50 to effectively intersect with the price action now. That being said, we want a clean break above that to have any true confidence. We also want to make sure that the price closes above 160 as a general rule of thumb here, based on the fact that we have this line here, essentially this trend line where the price hasn't been able to break above that recently. Now, the likelihood of that happening is quite high. It's just a matter of time, because when you look at the overall trend line here, we can see that the price has been decreasing ever since November 24th. But that's almost concurrent with the 50-day SMA, and oftentimes it'll work as a resistance until it doesn't. And once it isn't, the price is above, consider it support. So I think we're right on the heels of that. That is definitely really close. We can also see here as well a nice little trend that's kind of occurring upward here, essentially giving us a nice little ascending pattern that should likely break to the upside. Axie Infinity just did this here for us today. A handful of other coins are doing this type of movement. They're having this kind of progression where they're coming down to this absolute most lowest point, consolidating for weeks or two, in this case almost 3 weeks, and then slowly breaking up. And then once we get a clean break above, then at that point we can recognize the fact that we're back on track. So I think, again, a close above 160 on the 1 day would be a very good start. But we're almost there, okay? So just keep in mind, you could consider getting in early. I personally feel that Enjin should be able to recover nicely. We look at the volume profile here. I'm confident we have a lot more volume below the current price point. In fact, if we remove all that there, the most amount of volume is currently at the lowest point, which is 130 that it went to recently, okay? So again, all good stuff there on the daily. Let's look at the weekly and see if we have any type of, we do have a hidden bullish divergence here, where we can see the price action here is basically, that's slightly higher here, right? And then this is essentially lower, basically implying that it's more oversold now than it was before. And we could expect the price to continue to progress upwards from here, and that this is likely the bottom for this most immediate time frame. So again, good stuff there in that sense. I really don't see anything adverse here at all. I think Enjin's soon to take off. And when I say take off, I would not expect a parabolic increase like before, or just a significant run like it did before. While that could still happen, and I would love to see that happen, I don't know if it's realistic in the sense of the fact that it hasn't had enough time to retrace. Most coins that get back to their point like this, it happened about a year or two ago. And that being said, we'd need to see gaming take a second run this year, and it hasn't happened yet. There's potential, of course, but generally speaking, it'd be better off to anticipate worst case scenario, and that we might only see somewhere in the range of $2 to $3. I think $4 to $5 is less likely. Again, in the immediate future. We'll know more when we get there, but generally speaking, I think the most immediate target to shoot for would be right in the range of about 215 as a close approximate, because you can see that it was a strong support level for months, and then we eventually lost and it became a resistance. So hopefully the price can continue to progress upwards to get to that point, and that would put us roughly at the end of April at a potential price point of 215, just as a rough estimate there. Again, if we continue this trend line like we have been, we break through the SMAs, etc., we're going to be looking good. Speaking of SMAs, we're above both. We actually have basically a golden cross there, which is nice. We have the RSI peaking right at 78 and got rejected there. So just keep in mind this is a point of contention. We could also take a look at the 1 hour and kind of understand a little bit more about the cloud, and just recognize the fact that we are still in good shape there. I wouldn't recommend closing your position. This retracement here is based on Bitcoin consolidating about 2% in the last 2 or 3 hours. So it went from 42.7 down to 42 even, and that is reflected here, of course, in the price action. So again, Enjin and other coins, most coins are respondent to Bitcoin's success, right? Bitcoin goes up, they go up. If Bitcoin goes sideways, they'll still go up as long as we have consistency with Bitcoin. Bitcoin's been less volatile recently, which is nice, but there's still this gun shyness that people have right now, and I totally get it. But good news is there's a desensitization that's happening as well in the big picture, and we are seeing that Bitcoin is effectively less adversely impacted by the news and the world events than they were before, because they're more commonplace now. I hate to say that a war is commonplace or inflation is commonplace, but that is something that we're getting used to, right? That's kind of what happens. Just like wearing a mask every day when you go out, there's different scenarios, different things that just change your life, and in trading, those changes are starting to become social norms. All right. That being said, that's kind of factoring in, but regardless of that fact, let's look at TD sequential. We hit a 9. No surprise we see a retracement here as well. And Enjin is good about hitting 9s. We saw it when 8, 9, came down to a 7, down to a 7, up to a 9. So potentially down to a 7 here. I would say we're going to see some consolidation right around 150. It'd be a potential point. It could actually end up going higher than it is right now, which would be nice, because if it did, then we'd be in much better shape. Because again, ideally the next low shouldn't be lower than 150. If we get a bounce off 150, that'd be perfect. We'd still be making higher lows and higher highs, or at least potential higher highs, right? The next one, hopefully, can be larger than 155. So all in all, good shape here for Enjin. I truly think that this is a good price point to get in. It's definitely tremendous potential for this coin, but once again, I think that expecting something along these lines here in the immediate future is unfounded. I think it's unrealistic, just in the grand scheme of the fact that this sector, this gaming sector, it's been struggling recently because it had a rise to fame in November, and that was when Bitcoin was actually on a downside. Bitcoin was actually going down in November, where gaming was going up. And that lag right now that Bitcoin's going up, gaming's still, I wouldn't say it's going to keep going down, but it's going sideways for now, and then it'll go up once we have more consistency. So I think it's just a matter of time before Enjin takes off, but I wouldn't say it's going to go quite as extreme as it did before. It'll likely be a slow and steady grind to early May, late April in the $2 to $2.15 range. That's my speculation. Hopefully you found benefit here, of course. If you did, comment below, like and subscribe, all that good stuff. If you're not currently a community member, we actually have swing trades that we take, day trades that we take, all together. We all learn and grow, and it's an amazing experience. So be sure to check that out, and I look forward to working with you. Have yourself a great rest of your day. Thank you.